TCM for women. The course for TCM for women is designed to share the TCM perspective in addressing issues related to menstrual cycle, pregnancy, weight management, and menopause. A general approaches to health betterment to help women regain confidence, vitality in mastering life challenges. It's a 4-module course: a unique you, a beautiful you, a common you, and a period and you. When they reach their puberty, you will go to a stage of start of menstruation. And when it comes to menstruation, it's a period or monthly event, and such an event triggering a major body physiological changes, the hormonal changes and things like that. So there's a lot of issue related to that, and it can be managed accordingly. Then there is this thing called pregnancy. How pregnancy play a role in terms of health betterment for a lady, as well as childbirth and lactations. And we will talk about menstruations. So typically you come around 11 to 18 years old, the first menstruation. In Singapore, there are young lady as young as 9 years old having menses. On average, it's about 14 years old. Menopause typically occur from 46 to 56. Some can reach 60 years old. Average age 49. A typical cycle is between 21 to 35 days. But actually, I mean, it's a typical here. There are ladies who have menstruation once every 3 months. It's considered normal. It's called a period. A period in Chinese, I mean, in terms of the definition, period look more accurate in English as compared to 月经 in Chinese. So it's typically 21 to 35 days, January 28th. And typically when it comes, it lasts for about 3 to 7 days. So within this period, within this timing is fine. So the amount per se, less on the first day. Some lady who are weaker or young deficiency, they typically have more in the first days. So by understanding the condition of the mens, we'll be able to understand the condition of the lady during the period. So more on the second and third day and less on the fourth day. So this is a typical lady having menstruations. The color is typically dark red, deepen from light red to darker, followed by light red again. So, but for those who have colder body base, then the issue of blood clot, or if there's certain infection in the body, they may have this thing called order in the mens. So women itself, the physiological characteristic, TCM believes that women should focus on health regulation from the internal body, from inside out, activating the qi, the blood and meridian correctro, balancing between the yin and yang in order to radiate the health, beauty of health from within. And that's a very important concept. Many of the supplements or many of the beauty products out there in the market nowadays are also focusing on this particular concept, beauty from within. So something that we want to advocate. And in view of the various health issues, as I mentioned just now, the approach are mainly to regulate. Because we are understanding the body changes every month. We have to understand how we can 调 in TCM. In Chinese word, you call 调. As in, we don't treat per se, but the thing is we regulate. By understanding your biasness, the constitutional differences in state that you are in, we regulate along the way. So the virus regulating, dispelling external pathogens, understand the organ visceral system, the thoracic and the concession meridian. So the meridian concept will be shared in details in the related to the ladies will cover in the TCM for women. And back to this particular diagram, different stages. For example, when liver system is strong and abundance, menses will come. When the liver system becomes weakened, the menses will stop. The period will stop. So for ladies suffering from early menopause, while the modern medicine look into the concept of regulating the hormone, TCM looking into the regulation of the spleen and the liver system. I mentioned in my classes, blood system in blood is a system in TCM, more than the blood that we see in red. Anything that of nutritive value to the human body are considered under blood. The mother's milk is considered blood. The hormone considered blood. The man's sperm is considered blood. So these are the things whereby in the blood system, we look into the quality, the production, and the regulation of this particular blood system. And the quality is defined by the kidney system, the production by the spleen system. So what you eat define how healthy you will be. And how the blood is being regulated is done by the liver system. So when someone having an early menopause, from the TCM perspective, the regulation system that we look into that is, or the system that we are regulating or managing is the spleen and the liver system. So and followed by kidney, where they go down the deterioration. So when it comes to beauty, the fundamental of beauty from TCM perspective, these are covered in my herbal diet class, and I'm making it more detailed coverage in the TCM for women. For example, the blood is the main inner factor for female. Qi is the main inner factor for male. And we look at the individual constitution changes of individual ladies and how, through understanding of which constitution you belong to, we will be able to suggest and to give advice as to what we can use and can do to help the individuals. So these are the, when the blood and qi are in abundance and well circulated, we will be able to achieve health and beauty. And emotional factor play a very significant role in ladies because, for example, angry. Angry is a state whereby you feel that somebody is doing something wrong. It's an internal feeling that you may have, but such an emotional fluctuation, depression, anger, will result in the internal body qi stagnations. It may have a reversal of flow of qi. Many of us suffering for this particular symptom known as acid reflux, burping, something choke in your so-called esophagus. All these symptoms in the TCM context are classified under emotional factors. And typically more women than men suffering from these particular symptoms. And we have blood-related illnesses. Because when it comes to stasis, angry, it may result in cases such as late menstruation, lack of milk, the formation of cysts and fiber in the body. So these are various conditions that will come about and we feel when there's a qi stagnation in the body. So in the class itself, in the 4 modules that I'm going to cover, I'll be touching on the women's cycle of life stages, understanding a health issue in the different stages where you are in, understand the use of TCM approaches in managing such issue, and you have an understanding of your personal body constitution types, and how these different types and different diet approach can be considered. In the second module, I'll be touching on the importance of beauty from within. You will learn the beautiful, how to certain diet and certain TCM approaches from the acupressure massage to have a beautiful you and radiant skin, and for weight management. In the third module, I'll be covering the causes of emotional issue. What are the stressor and what are stress response, and how we can mitigate the both. Because nobody can stress me unless I stress myself. So by understanding how the stressor come about, and you can decide a corresponding stress response, and how emotional issue affect women. There are many cases of stress, anxiety, and depressions. I have a full course on it, and it affect more women than men. And I explained to the men, for one reason, men don't admit that they have a problem. But actually, we have more women than men suffering from emotional issue. And you'll learn and know the herbal diet to address these syndromes. And in the course, I'll share with you technique of breathing, the inhaling and exhaling process, the breath, the dynamic breath, the massaging technique to address these symptoms. And I'll also be covering, for TCM for women, the case of period. How TCM interpret or understand the changes in period, the different phase in our, when our basal temperature changes. Women period go through a sine curve. Okay, and this sine curve itself follow exactly the natural frequency. So you know the causes of period related or menopause-related syndromes. You will learn the acupressure, massage, and herbal diet technique in addressing these symptoms. So this will be covered in a TCM for women class. Okay, and I'll be sharing all the details of the class inside here. And the course will be online on the 7th December to 28th December. Is a Monday evening. The class, there are people already applying for this class, so you're welcome to apply. So you can just scan this particular QR code. So it starts from 7:30 to 9:30. It will be conducted in English.